So, one of my first ideas is there's two friends, and one of those friends has a past he wants to forget, and the other one is just like an innocent person, and they're the protagonists. The antagonist is a masked figure that is never really revealed to the audience, and that makes the audience think more. And for the settings, we have two settings. One scene is outside. Actually, no. There will be two scenes where it's outside. So one scene is both the boys are riding their bikes outside, just normally on the street. And the other scene is when one of the friends is outside, and the other friend calls the friend to come over to his house, and the rest is played in the house. So the story and key themes. One of the boys has done something horrible in the past and has kept it away from everyone. Something comes back to haunt him. Only he can see the antagonist, and the friend later on gets involved. The narrative, there will be flashbacks of the boy's past, just short, really short, and that will let the audience think even more. Enigmas, so that is to work out who the antagonist is and what he's doing here with these innocent boys. The mise en scene, dark scenes from house and outside. So we would roughly film at about 6-7 o'clock when it gets dark. In the house, we will also be filming. The antagonist follows. The house will be lit up, but there will be a couple of rooms that are dark, which we'll be using. Technical shots of his past and images of things he has done. So the SWOT analysis. Physical practicalities dash technical abilities. Strength we'll have is inside the house. The weather is fine since it's indoors. Opportunities. This allows us to finish 3/4 of the whole opening sequence and leave the other part till the weather gets better outside, which comes on to the weakness part. Outside it can have all sorts of weathers, and we'd have to stay late till 7 to 8 o'clock to film as it gets dark then. Threats, we won't be able to film at all outdoors if it's horrible weather. And also another one, if one of us is ill, we'd have to wait to film. Financial constraints, since we'll be using the outdoors and our personal house, there'll be no constraints, none at all. Opportunities, get to use the house and outdoors, and it can be filmed at any time. Weaknesses, we will have to buy a mask from Amazon or eBay, which will cost us around £2-3, which is not a big deal. Threats, the house might have guests over on the day you film, and someone might be ill on filming that day, so filming will be pushed. The meet and brief. Strengths. The theme relates to the audience a lot, since it has the same age range. We have a friend uses violin to make the eerie noise to build tension. That is what we see a lot in thrillers, especially supernatural thrillers. And also we have another friend who produces the music, and we'll ask him for help as well. Opportunities, have people to help with music in the trailer. This allows us not to get copyright. Weaknesses, not getting the audience engaged, and that affects this because we don't want to bore the audience. Threats, getting our friends to get into the school studio or whatever studio and get them to record a little part for the trailer. Legal requirements and restrictions. Strengths, we're not going to be using hardcore swearing. We're going to just use the little swearings like shit, crap. Yeah. Opportunities, This allows us to get closer and engage with the audience. Weaknesses, get into trouble for using the word shit. Threats, we may have to change a couple parts of it with the swearing, and it wouldn't engage with the audience. So my second idea, protagonist. One person alone at night outside in an area they've never been at. Antagonist murder on the loose from prison. Setting, protagonist walking home after a party, but they've never been at the area. While protagonist walks home, he's followed by the murderer. Knock at the door, murderer barges through. Story and key theme. The murderer has been on the run for a long time now and has decided to follow our protagonist and asks for help and tries to get into the head of the protagonist. Murderer wants help from the protagonist. Narrative. Flashback of the murderer's past and what he has done. Enigmas. Murderer suddenly disappears but is hiding somewhere close and the audience need to work out that themselves. Enigmas. Mise en scene. Dark street, park that's dark as well. House that's got good lighting but some areas are dark. Clothes for murderer is orange jumpsuit because he's escaped from jail. And for the protagonist is smart clothing to make it look like it's just a normal person. Technical, shots of how the murderer was in prison and what he has gone through. For the SWOT analysis, physical practicalities / technical abilities. Strengths we'll have is because it's practically inside the house as well, and there's just like one scene where it's outdoors where we could just film if there's anything wrong with the weather. This will also help us get done like all of the whole thing at home because we will barely be outside that much. Weaknesses, we'd have to also film late because literally I said at a party everyone comes back late. You'd usually come back around like 1 or 2 o'clock, but we can't obviously film at like 1 or 2 o'clock because it's quite dangerous at that time, so we'd have to film at around 8 o'clock at night. Threats, we won't be able to film at all because our parents might not let us film that late. Financial constraints, there will be none at all because we're just going to be using smart clothes. Actually, we will have to buy a jumpsuit, orange jumpsuit, which might be like £5 to £10. Yeah. Opportunities. We could film at home at any time we want, and we won't be using that much money as well because £5 to £10 is really nothing. Or we don't need to really spend that much. We could just find something that's orange. Maybe our siblings have something that's orange, or parents might have something that's orange. We could cover ourselves because, yeah. Threats, the house might have guests over, or we may not have the orange jumpsuit. And yeah, me in brief. Strengths, the theme is really like engaging. What I mean is like it's got a really strong like mystery to it. So especially the part where the antagonist just disappears all of a sudden, and that makes the audience think more. Opportunities, same with my idea one. We'll have friends conduct the music and produce it as well, because they took music in A-levels. Weaknesses, they might not be able to help us because they might have other things to do. Threats, same as weaknesses, and actually trying to get a hold of them to come and make some music for us. legal requirements slash restrictions, strengths. There might be parts where someone is hit, but we don't want to get like for the weaknesses, we don't want to get into trouble for it, like especially by the MPAA. You're not allowed to hit hard to make it look like it's like really harsh. Threats, maybe we might have to take that part out, but it might not make the audience feel that they might not be engaged that much. I'll pass it on to my friend.
My first idea is so I'll start by protagonist. It's a person sitting alone at a bus stop or train station. The antagonist is a suspicious person spends most of their time at the bus station and train station. Bus stop, sorry. Setting is a bus stop or train station. The story and the key themes is a suspicious person spends a lot of the time in that specific area and people see him a lot, so they wonder what he's doing. The narrative is this would be a smash mouth, as it would start midway through the trailer, so as soon as the trailer or film starts, it would look like it starts from the middle of the film, so it would make you think a lot. The enigmas is find out what the suspicious person is doing and why they're always there. The mise-en-scene is a dark, gloomy and deathly area with hardly no people around, just wherever the suspicious person goes, as not a lot of people would go there. Technical would be use of Apple Max, used to edit any filming, and also use of green screen. This is SWOT analysis, so physical practicalities and technical abilities is strengths. We would have cameras to use to film our trailer, so we wouldn't have to spend money for ourselves to film it. Opportunities would be that we do have another camera as a body camera, so it would make it look like from first person, so different shots and angles. Weaknesses would be that if we are not able to film on that day, if someone's not available, me or my partner or not, we would have to postpone it and film another day. Threats is that if the places that we want to use to film is not free, we'd also have to postpone it to another day to film, so it would keep us behind. Financial constraints is the strengths that we do have the money to do that allows us to do what we want to do for our filming. Opportunities was if we did want to use other props and stuff, we could buy them and it wouldn't restrict us in any way. Weaknesses is that our trailer obviously would be budgeted because we don't have unlimited money to do whatever we wanted to do, so yeah, it would be budgeted. Threats would be if we did have no money and the financial state was holding us back, we wouldn't do what we wanted to do in the first place. Meet and brief. The strengths is that we would use big bold writing for our trailer, so all age ranges can see what we'd be saying. So like for the elderly, they might, or any ages, might see it. They might find it hard to see things, so using big bold writing would make it easier for them to see. Opportunities is that our trailer would suit all ages, so it would appeal to them also, they would want to watch it. Weaknesses. Some people may feel our trailer is not appealing to them, so they wouldn't want to watch the film when it gets released, if it did, and it might not appeal to them. The threats. Some people may not even like the idea of our trailer, so they wouldn't like the name of it, so they wouldn't watch it, or they wouldn't like the look of it. Legal requirements and restrictions. Strengths. For our trailer, luckily there's no legal constraints that is holding us back from producing our idea. Opportunities. The idea that we have thought of is good because the things that we want to do is legal and there's nothing holding us back. Weaknesses. If we did have any legal requirements we had to follow or abide by, it it would stop us from doing our idea what we wanted to do, and it would be hard for us to think of different ideas to do, so it's easy for us knowing that we have no constraints. Threats. If we did film in areas that needed legal constraints and requirements to film there, we could possibly have been rejected from filming there, so it would have stopped us from filming. A second idea. Person, a male or female, has moved into the woods alone to live, but they're deaf. That's the protagonist. Antagonist is the person that hunts them down and wants to kill them. Setting: a house in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. Story and key themes: a deaf person living alone, and the killer is hunting for them and out to kill them, and the deaf person that is the protagonist has to try to escape and find help. The narrative: the trailer should be shown and displayed in first person at times, as it would show you what the deaf person is experiencing and without no sound in the background, so it shows you how the deaf person is seeing it from their point of view. Enigmas: find the killer and stop him from killing innocent people. The person. Mise-en-scene: no one around and hard to see and hear other people, so there's no help in reach or sight, so you would have to go far to find help. Technical: use of cameras to film footage of the trailer, so different cameras and angles of shots.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.